Hey everybody, I came up with a plan, some revisionist history here. My plan to save the Atari Jaguar. I've made videos about this in the past, but I think I really finally got it down right because a lot of my criticisms in the past when I tried to change the narrative of how they could have made the Jaguar successful, I did get a lot of complaints that are actually pretty fair. A lot of comments were given to me that I wasn't realistic enough, so I think I found a way to save the Atari Jaguar where even though they had problems, if they just worked within the problems they had, they actually could have still been successful. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. Now we're going to return back to this page later, but let me start with my new controller design for the Atari Jaguar controller. You see it looks very different. You got two very cool handles at the bottom. You got 6 keypad buttons instead of 12 or whatever. A rotary dial controller next to the D-pad, right? 6 buttons. You got the eyes of the Jaguar above you. This is a cool, badass controller, and people would have loved this controller. It looks intimidating, it looks cool, it looks like it's really fun, and you want to get your hands on it, okay? So, improved controller, including the rotary dial, which the Atari was known for. It was famous for doing that, and this is the way of nostalgia, bringing that back, putting it on the controller itself. And there's going to be games in my version of the Jag more games where it'll utilize the rotary controller, right? Like certain games, for example, you can use the D-pad or the rotary controller. Either one you pick, it'll just automatically work, depending on what game it is, right? Okay, now you have the Jaguar itself. I'm giving the Jaguar 4 controller ports right in the front. 4 controller ports. Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is something they could have just implemented. Even though they had all those issues with the distribution, the bugs, when they were making the software. Well, 4 controller ports, you can do that with ease. Oh, well, pretty much. Give it 4 controller ports. This is new, it's different. And there's going to be 4-player exclusives for the Jaguar that you can't play at all on the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. I'm including a Jaguar dust tray to block the dust for the cartridge. It's just something you flip up and down, and it's light to the touch. You know, you can put the eyes of the Jaguar on it or the Jaguar logo, whatever. That's pretty cool looking, right? Okay, now let's get to the games. Here we have the library we're going to take a look at all 60 official released Atari Jaguar games, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you all, let's decide together which games we're going to pick shouldn't have been released and which ones should have been. Which ones would stay and which ones we just don't even release because it's an embarrassment or it's a bad idea, right? You can see my X's and my checks, but let's just go through and you'll see what I mean, because the Jaguar, it only had like 55, 60 games, but I would rather have a library with less games, way less games, okay? Quality over quantity. It would make the Jaguar look better, okay? Instead of a bunch of stuff, a bunch of garbage that doesn't belong there, that make the Jaguar look weak. So the first game here, Air Cars, right? A lot of us in the retro fans, we know what this game is. It was a prototype, it was kind of released. It's bad. It doesn't belong here. It's kind of like a 90s remake of Battlezone, that old 80s arcade game. But this Air Cars game, it's not very good. You know, like it tries, but get rid of it. Don't even release it. Just no. Next, Alien vs. Predator. Yes, you know, this should get a release, right? Okay? Because even though it's really at its core a 32-bit game, when you look at it, it looks like it could be convincing as a 64-bit title for the time period. It would make people think that it's 64-bit based on its graphics, because it was extremely impressive at the time, right? It's a system seller, and this is what I'm talking about. Like most of the Jaguar titles, there needs to be way more 3D, way more 3D. It needs to feel like it's 64-bit, okay? And Alien vs. Predator is a perfect example of that. So that's why there's going to be a lot of stuff here that get the X, that don't impress people with its graphics. Next title, Atari Carts. It's not 64-bit, really, and the only graphics it has that are interesting is the sprite scaling with the Mode 7 stuff going on, with the level designs. It's a disappointment as a game, but I think we have to include it, right? We have to include Atari carts. It has Bentley Bear in it. It just seems like it's something we need to have there. Like, it's a disappointment, but it's still a decent game. Like, it's difficult to say yes to because, you know, it's not 64-bit, but sorry, like we have to include Atari carts, okay? We do. It's all right. Let's include it. Attack of the Mutant Penguins. You know, this is like an interesting game. It's very creative, and people remember this game. And no, like the graphics are not up to snuff. Yeah, it is something you could see on the Genesis and Super Nintendo, and the TurboGrafx 16. Well, maybe, but it's creative. It's an exclusive for the Jaguar, right? Like, there's certain things, there's certain games where you have to look the other way a little bit and be like, yeah, but we need to include this, though. This is, like, interesting. It has the aura of the Jaguar, the creepiness of the Jaguar, the weirdness of it that made the Jaguar appealing, and it belongs here. Like, let's keep Attack of the Mutant Penguins. Come on. Breakout 2000, I give that an X. I'm not releasing that game. It's not a bad game, you know, but it's disappointing as hell. It should have been 3D, and it really isn't. It's something you can easily see on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. I know it sucks that I'm canceling it, but it doesn't belong here. Like, it's not good enough. With this kind of title, 2000, Breakout 2000, it should be 64-bit, 32-bit. The game Tetrasphere for the N64, that's what Breakout 2000 really, you know, kind of should have been like, right? So, no, we have to cancel Breakout 2000. Next, we have Brutal Sports Football. We want this there, don't we? Yeah, let's include Brutal Sports Football. You know, it's a niche game. It has like an intensity to it. It has like a badass quality to it that feels very like it's a tough game on the tough Jaguar console. You can't play this game on the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis or any other game console, so it's a cool exclusive Atari Jaguar game. It's not 64-bit, but man, you know, that cover, like the gameplay, and you have to include it. Right? You have to include it. Next we have Bubsy and Fractured Furry Tales. I know a lot of you are upset because I gave this a green check, okay, but you gotta understand, the Jaguar needs to have platformer games. It needs to have them, and I'm a Bubsy fan, so I'm biased. Like, this game is so broken, and you can die so easily. I mean, all they had to do was let Bubsy get hit at least 7 times before you die, so you can play the game a little longer and enjoy the game a little more. There's like one-hit instant deaths, and the game should have been worked on longer. But look at that cover, look at the box art, and Bubsy is a bobcat, so bobcats, jaguars, he's a cat. He fits in with the Jaguar theming, and people knew Bubsy back then. He was a name, and he did have, you know, he had some fans back then as a character, as a series. Like, it's a recognizable, to a degree, a name, and it was cool that this is an exclusive Bubsy game on the Jaguar, because I always want there to be more Bubsy games, like in the 90s, so I wouldn't want to cancel Fractured Furry Tales. The whole idea was that Bubsy would appear on every game console at the time, and he did. And that was so awesome. I mean, no, Bubsy didn't appear on the Game Gear or the Saturn, but hell, I mean, he was gonna appear on the Sega Saturn, but whatever. We have to include this Bubsy game. I'm sorry. Like, there's something about it that it kind of needs to be here, because, like I said, the Jaguar needs at least 1 or 2 platformers on here. You can't, like, get rid of all the platformers. This is what people were into at the time, the big mascot characters, right? this is what was popular. Like, kids would buy this game. I mean, look at that box art. It's amazing, the box art. No, like, we have to keep Bubsy. Like, our hands are tied, I think. Next we have Cannon Fodder, which is a good game. You know, it's a cute game. And I know it's weird, it's ironic I'm saying it's a cute game, because you're going around murdering people, gunning people down with machine guns. But it's a fun game, it's a fun little game, and people have good memories of it. You know, people like Cannon Fodder. I know a lot of people are upset that I'm canceling Cannon Fodder for the Jaguar, but Cannon Fodder, it's just, the graphics are not up to snuff for the Jaguar. It just doesn't... It's not good enough to be on here, because you can easily play this on the Sega Genesis and shit. Like, it doesn't belong here. And I know people are going to be like, well, why would you include Bubsy, though? Because that's not 3D. But there weren't any 3D platformers at the time. So 2D platformers were very expected, and it was popular. Cannon Fodder, though, when you see something that's generic like this, and that's not me insulting it, but when you see something like this, you expect a 3D polygons field with, you know, 64, 32-bit graphics for Cannon Fodder. You can't have it look like that, so Cannon Fodder really has to get canceled. You know, come on. It doesn't belong here. Alright, moving on. Next we have Checkered Flag. Okay, the controls are broken, but I think graphically it feels like it belongs on the Jaguar. I think the graphics are very impressive for the time, and you can actually play the game decently if you work with the bad controls. I've been able to do it. I've been able to beat races and not hit the walls. It takes a lot of time to master the controls, the broken controls, but it has a quality to it where it's impressive graphically to play on a cart. You know, it isn't a terrible game. I know a lot of people say it's terrible. It's bad. It's bad. It's not terrible, but it's also a decent game at the same time. It's one of those weird games where, like, your feelings about it are all over the place, but it still has those graphics, though, that you need to have to show off the Jaguar. We kind of have to include Checkered Flag, really. And, you know, it's playable, right? Club Drive, I have to cancel Club Drive. I actually love this game. I know, like, people hate it, so I'm going to be safe and not include it. People do hate Club Drive. I even noticed people hated Club Drive at the time period in the 90s. People in the 90s didn't like it either. They gave it bad reviews. I love the game, and I think people should have been happy with it. It's just a fun experimental game where you move the car around and everything's all blocky, and things are not detailed and stuff. And people don't like the music in it, and I think it's fine. I think Club Drive is fun. I actually like Club Drive more than Checkered Flag. But people thought it was confusing. People said it looks like plastic, and people just did not like this game. And Checkered Flag, like, the graphics are actually more detailed, way more detailed. You know exactly what you need to do in Checkered Flag. It's a standard race game, right? Everyone knows what to do. You start and finish the race. You can look at all the trees, the bridges, the water, the sky, the other cars. Like, everything is detailed enough, right? The Club Drive, everything looks like, confusing. You don't really know what to do. So even though I like Club Drive better, Checkered Flag, it just works better, I think. So, you know, if they improved Club Drive and made it easier for people to play and made it better in areas, then people would like it a little more. Then I would have released Club Drive. It's sad, but I have to give Club Drive the X, because let's be mature about this. You know, there's sacrifices that need to be made. Next we have Cybermorph. The Cybermorph, in my version here of saving the Jaguar, would not be bundled with the console. Okay. Cybermorph, it's a good game. I like this game. It should be included on the Jaguar, right? All they need to do is get rid of that stupid green bitch that talks to you. Just don't even put her in the damn game. Yeah, and give it a soundtrack, but we're being realistic, right? This is my realistic take on fixing the Jaguar, the best way to save it. So these rules I'm establishing here is that this is what they have, and this is what they cannot release. But we can't fix any of the problems in the game. So we can't get rid of the green bitch, we can't give it a soundtrack, but we can still do other things, right, with what we have. So let's release Cybermorph, okay? Because it's a good game. Defender 2000 is a great underrated Jaguar title. It's one of the best games on the Jag. It's not 64-bit, but man, the music, the graphics, it's fun, it's loud, it's exciting. This belongs here, yes. And look at that cover. I mean, yes, people would love this. Doom, we have to include Doom. Let's keep Doom on the console, okay? That definitely gets a green check. Because even though you could play it on the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, people, even to this day, say that the Jaguar version of Doom is the best way to play Doom on a console. And they had that awesome Jaguar commercial with the priest, so yeah, let's keep it. Double Dragon 5, I actually don't think this is a bad game, like Double Dragon fans say, but it doesn't belong here. It's not 3D. No, like we shouldn't include it. Sorry. Next we have Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Great movie, and I did review of this game. But you can play this game on the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. It looks a tiny bit better on the Jag, but this is another thing. Like, even though the box art is awesome, we can't include this. This has to get canceled also, you know. Dino Dudes? This is like the game Lemmings, and it's not a bad game, and I'm sorry to cancel this, because I know people have fond memories of this game. But no, this can't be on the Jaguar. This is gonna get canceled, Dino Dudes. I'm sorry. No. Come on. Fever Pitch Soccer. It's not impressive enough. I give it an X. I cancel it. This doesn't belong on the Jaguar. The Jaguar doesn't need sports games. Fuck sports games. It doesn't need them, you know, and the graphics are something you can see on the 16-bit consoles. It's not 3D, like, no. To the trash bin. Fight for Life, why would I include this? Well, look at those graphics. I mean, even though the gameplay is, you know, problematic and it takes forever to defeat your enemy, and the music is not bad, and I mean, I don't think it's as terrible as people say it is, but you know, I do like Fight for Life, but think about the title itself. I mean, this is kind of before Virtua Fighter, I think, or the same year as Virtua Fighter. I don't know. But Fight for Life, you need to have a game like this on the Jaguar. Those 3D graphics, you know, like, and that's something we'll talk about later about the prices of these games. Flashback, The Quest for Identity is a good game. It's a classic game, right? It belongs on the Jaguar. We can keep that, right? Flip Out, you know, honestly, this game is not a bad game. Like, it's okay, right? It's kind of charming, but... And even though you can do stuff graphically that you can't do on the Super Nintendo and Genesis, because it's a strange hybrid type of game. But this game doesn't belong on the Jaguar. Come on, no, I'm canceling Flip Out. It's just not impressive enough, and it's just, no. Hover Strike, yes. This is a great underrated Jaguar title. This is a good game. The problem is that the controls are very floaty and it could be really annoying, but if you practice long enough, you'll master the controls. I love Hover Strike, and this is what I'm talking about. More games like this, 3D. Keep Hover Strike. Next we have iWar. I love iWar. Play this game because this is like a great underrated Jaguar title, and I would make this a launch title, iWar. That would be impressive. Okay, because iWar gets a big check from me. It stays on the Jaguar. You can only play games like this on the Atari Jaguar, people. Next we have some international sensible soccer game, and why they fucked up the cover and didn't give it a cool looking Jaguar cover, like, fuck you. And no, this game's the same shit as Fever Pitch Soccer, and it's not bad, you know, I like soccer, you know, and the gameplay is fun. It's a decent little game, right? But it doesn't belong here. Sorry, no. Definitely gets canceled. I mean, and that cover is terrible. Next game, Iron Soldier. I did a whole review of this game, and it has a lot of problems to me. But you have to include this. The giant robot? Yes, this is a decent game, and it belongs here. Absolutely. Keep Iron Soldier, right?